Aries.
Hello, Aries. This is your astrological forecast for March 2016. And so, as opposed to last month where we didn't have all that many transits, so it was a little slower but a beautiful month. But here in March, we're going to be very busy. We're going to be picking up the speed, not just due to all the transits, a long list of them, in fact, but also due to the eclipses that we're seeing here this month. So I feel right now that you're looking into the energy of how you're spending, should I say, time with your significant other, if you have one. For those of you who are single, well, you're also looking into the wanting, the needing, wishing, hoping to be with a partner and looking at those aspects of it. There's a deep underlying river flowing through consciousness this month as you're trying to really get to the core of those things that are truly, truly important to you. Not just sharing with this partner, but also receiving a very good and intimate, should I say, level as well. And we have Saturn this month, which is going to turn retrograde from the 25th of March until that of August 13th. And it's in your ninth house here, Aries. So Saturn is your consciousness reaching up towards expansion of those things that are important to you on a higher level. Maybe deepening as far as researching. It could be you teaching, for example, and it could also be your interaction with people at faraway places. For those of you who are writers, it might even indicate publishers perhaps, but it could also be lawsuits for those of you involved in that. You can expect the delay here in these months, but which in the long run actually will work out for you, even though it's always a little frustrating when things kind of slow down here over these next few months. But it is to give you an additional time to do what you've already been doing, more research time. So try to embrace it to see what the message is here. Saturn's looking out for you. And so I feel by August 13th, that should all be concluded. And then you have the full package. We have Pluto working in your 10th house for career, which it has been for a long time. And so some of you now are starting to feel the transformative energy of what this flower planet can bring to the table for you. Venus and Mercury both are in your 11th house. So this month here in March will be extra social, where you get to spend more times interacting with your friends, but also in chasing your hopes and dreams, which this area also is. So wherever you put your love and your passion, right, that is always where success follows. And you'll hear yourself speaking a whole lot more about what it is that you're trying to achieve. And that's Mercury communicating. The Sun and the new moon, Neptune as well, this month is cruising through your 12th house, the subconsciousness. All right, so when Neptune is there, which it will be for a long time, many years yet to come, it's spiritualizing your sense of self. And it's also setting you in more so in touch with the far past, past lives, in fact. So I think a lot of you are starting to open up to that spiritual dimension of you. The Sun also is now closing down on the last 11 months where it's been circling your chart, and now it's like powering up your batteries as you're letting go of 2015, readying itself for when it comes into your first house, which is your birthday here next month. But we also do have the new moon. We have that total solar eclipse in your 12th house. So that's really going to speed things up for you as we go along. And I'll do a special on those eclipses, so pay attention to that. You subscribers will be getting it in your inbox. Then we have Uranus. Well, you've been dancing to a different rhythm here as far as expressing who you are and your personality. And especially those of you who are born the first half of your sign have already gone through this transformation of really becoming, I won't say more sparkly because you're such a fire sign and you always radiate, but doing it in a different way, in the Uranian way. And so that has been, what should I say, not just the renewal, but actually new facets of your diamond coming through, shining through. And for those born in the last 2 weeks of your sign, well, you're already starting to feel how this is starting to portray itself. Jupiter in your 6th house here, Aries, is in the sign of Virgo, and for some of you have already now seen exactly what it's done for you. Opened up new doors, expansion, generosity, both from the universe coming to you, but also you putting out more so of that energy out to those around you. You might have felt that you have been serving different purposes for those around you and been more generous with your time. And we know Arians can sometimes be hasty, wanting to get on with things, not really known to have the most patience of the zodiac, but Jupiter here has given you this extended feeling of how it is to be there and help somebody really grow and get ahead. And I think you've been receiving kudos for that too, Aries. So let's take a look at what now is starting off top of the month. We're going to go through this whole list. On the 2nd, we have Venus and Uranus, which is very exciting. It's love and the unexpected factor, the wow factor coming in. And so you might have some good news coming to you this day, or you might be the one granting somebody else good news. And then on the 6th, we have the Sun and Saturn in square. So this might be a day where you're asking yourself what it is you really want. As far as making a decision in a new direction. And you might just feel the need to kind of step back a little bit, think about things. And when we have doubt, always remember doubt is our friend, right? Because it means that all information isn't yet fully in place. However, though, I don't really see this slowing down for a long time because you're also being empowered here by some insight, some know-how, intuition, and it might even be insight coming from outside, from a power person on this day that's going to help you really punch through to what it is you're wanting to achieve, and where you might have had this little, I won't say doubt, but the need to kind of think things through. Well, Pluto is definitely bringing this to the table here pretty much on the same day, so it's good. Then we have on the 8th, the decisions having to do with you and Jupiter. They're in an opposition. So for you, that is the 6th and 12th house. So it has to do with your daily routines, how you are working with your coworkers, people around you, how much energy you've been giving to them. That's Jupiter serving these people, right? And then the Sun, which is you, having a need to kind of pull back a little bit because it's in the 12th house. It wants to have some time to download, if we can put it that way. And then, of course, we have the solar eclipse on the very same day. And this eclipse, for you, is in that 12th house. So you will come to see that things are going to speed up for you when things start happening. But I'll give you more information on that solar eclipse later on. Then we have decision days, I feel, that are going to be important for you not to rush. And that can be a little hard to hold your horses back, Aries, because you are such a fiery sign. But the 14th and the 15th, it is, again, where we had that Sun square Saturn. Mercury is now squaring Saturn. So you might have received information, and then you're still wanting to chew it over, and that's okay. Venus, too, see, comes into play here when it's squaring off on Mars on this day. And Venus is love, who you love and what you love, but it's also money. And it's squaring up here with Mars having to do with where do you want your money to go? Which action, Mars, should you take? Should you hang left or right? But it could also be in a relationship where things are really going to be pinpointed as far as finding a mutual decision that can feel good for both of you, so it doesn't turn lopsided. Mercury and Pluto will be sextile, so it's like whenever you're feeling in doubt, just like in that first phase there in the 6th, same thing here too. You might get that feeling like something sitting on your shoulder, but then it's going to be affirmed same day as this decision is hanging upon you, and that will allow you a higher overlook to be able to have a perspective that's going to see the larger picture. You don't want to do any short-term decisions or not looking too far ahead, because that's what's going to put you in the hole. Whenever you climb up on top of that pyramid, you can look out over the valley. So I'm feeling here as you're concluding the 15th, coming into the 16th, you know exactly what it is you want, where you're going to take this direction. Things are speeding up because that solar eclipse was there too, which really smacks a punch. So I feel that your Jupiter is going to be getting not just the insights and the overview, but also the power of communication, where you can communicate why certain things are important, where you're heading, what you're wanting to accomplish, and it's in the communication which is going to allow your circumstances to truly understand, see, and recognize where you're coming from. 16th is beautiful. We have Jupiter and Pluto trine. Wow. Jupiter represents everything expansive, and Pluto rules money, and big money actually, and Jupiter is generous. So for those of you signing any contracts here on the 16th, well, good for you. Should be great. Any opportunities coming your way, that should be great. Even better yet, if these are opportunities from the past, before Jupiter went retrograde, these are still good because they were started prior to. If they're new prospects, well, Jupiter is retrograde. It's not the most difficult planet to have retrograde, however, but it will turn direct after May 10th. I feel, again, signing, it could be important, or committing to something that you're feeling very strongly about. And this is Venus here now with Neptune. It's love, and then the higher love. Neptune is always that higher octave of Venus. And so this really brings the ideal emotion to the picture. Some of you might find yourself getting engaged or even getting married here in February. Beautiful time to do so. So congratulations on it. And enjoy these days here, just the easy flow and the happiness, the laughter that accompanies along with it. Then we have another decision that will be on the 23rd. This is Jupiter and Saturn now. Jupiter expands. It wants to move, right? And Saturn does the opposite. Saturn has rings, excuse me, so it constricts, it holds back. So it's kind of like this push-pull, touch and go. And so just hang in there, give yourself a little time. Whenever we have those moments, don't do anything. Sometimes choosing to do nothing is actually a choice of doing something. You're choosing to do nothing, right? So that is good. And just right behind it, you're going to find your flow again as the planets pick up. Mercury is going to be communicating here with Mars being action. And so you're really going to find a great, should I say, speed of development in those projects that you're working with. And any communications with men at this time should promise positive. We have on the 25th Jupiter and Venus. They are in opposition. For you here, that will be also the 12th and the 6th house. So again, it has to do with your day-to-day routines, health, what you eat. Maybe you're making a choice of wanting to take a new route as far as wanting to work out, become a little bit more body conscious. and spiritually conscious too, because that's the 12th house. Finding the perfect balance between these two creates harmony. And the good thing about this is that it's coming up here right after that lunar eclipse there on the 23rd. And the lunar eclipses is all about letting go of the old, right? And so when we have the new of that Venus and Jupiter, body consciousness, spiritual consciousness, maybe this is the perfect thing that you're now going to be adding in to the matrix that you can carry on for a long time to come as you're shutting down on whatever the old ways were. That is that lunar eclipse there for you, 23rd. Then we have some power days. 26th, we have the Sun and Mars. Your physical energy, your focus, your drive is very harmoniously together here. So I feel that anything that you start new will have the blessing with it. I see your focus being super sharp. The Sun here in the 12th house, your Mars in the 8th house. This has to do with how you're wanting to spend your money, save your money, invest your money, or also receive some money here as far as perhaps some royalties or commissions or gifts, even inheritances too. So this is a great day, and Venus-Pluto alongside with it, same day. Venus ruling money, Pluto big money. So if you're negotiating a contract, a new pay, what fees you're going to be having, selling a house, for example, whatever the deal is, if it's a book deal, you will be able to actually hone in on what you feel is the value of what you deserve in this area. So good for you here at Aries. Then we're closing off on the end of the month, which is going to be decision time making. So you've just had, so you can see how it's like touch and go throughout the month, right? And here towards the end, the 29th, 30th, 31st, what we have is negotiations, communications, contracts, documents, or also maybe a presentation of something. This I feel you're going to get good feedback upon, and it's really coming together from where you started earlier in the month, having to make a couple of decisions where you weren't quite, should I say, knowing whether that was completely what you wanted, but here by the 29th, you are convinced, so you're feeling good about that. And then it's more like, okay, now I have it, I've secured it, so where do I go from here? Now what do I want to do with this? And so I see you kind of thinking up a storm, looking ahead towards the spring and how you're wanting to implement this into your new, should I say, foundation or your matrix. So it's a month where things are moving really quickly. There is some unexpected twists and turns that's going to come in with that solar eclipse. And so I'm looking forward to do that for you, and we'll be posting it here pretty soon for you. So listen, Aries, this is what I have for you this month. Do listen to your moon and rising sign just to see where these planets are going to be affecting you in different areas. So you get like a double take on it, and listen to your partner's chart to see what's up for him or her. And I'll see you next month. Bye now.